Hey guys, it's Sam and this is the soundtrack to my life tag. This tag was created by Jenny of Jenny King and I was tagged by Mandy of Oh It's Mandy. I will link both their channels down below. Opening credits, your favorite childhood book. I think it's gonna have to be the American Girl doll books. I've mentioned this before, but I read those religiously as a child and I can't think of any other book at the moment that I read as much as I read those books. Waking Up, a book that got you out of a reading slump. I don't know if it was so much out of a reading slump because I went back into a reading slump after reading this, but For Darkness Such as Stars by Diana Peterfront I read during my most recent reading slump and I read it in one sitting. I absolutely adore it. This is a persuasion retelling by Jane Austen and it's a kind of futuristic, borderline dystopian, but doesn't feel like a dystopian retelling, and it's just wonderful and angsty, and it has a pre-page one romance, which makes it even better because it's not like any insta-love or anything like that. It's like a pre-existing relationship, but there's angst there, and if you know the story Persuasion, then you know the situation, but I think it's really well done. I really like the relationships in this book, and I was addicted to it, and read it in one sitting during a reading slump. It's ridiculous. School, a book that you read for school that you ended up loving, and that is A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. It is my favorite classic of all time, I absolutely adore it, but I haven't reread it since school because I want to find a nice edition of it. I talk about this before on my channel and how I cannot find a beautiful edition of A Tale of Two Cities. Why not? It is a very well-known classic. Why are all the covers so ugly? It's so hard to find a good edition. So when I have a good edition in my hands, I'll probably reread it at some point, but yes. I haven't reread it because I don't own a copy because all of them are atrocious. Like, they're all really ugly, and I'm sorry. That book deserves a beautiful cover. Falling in Love, an author you love so much you want to read all of their books. This is a two-way tie between Leigh Bardugo, who wrote the Grisha trilogy and has now wrote Six of Crows, which is also in the Grisha world. I absolutely just love that world and her books and her writing and her characters, and it's just flawless. But I also love Morgan Rhodes with every fiber of my being. She wrote the Fallen Kingdom series, and she is just lovely as a person and loves her fans and is so interactive with fans, and she's just great. So between both of them, I want to read all of their books because they're amazing and flawless human beings. Fight, a book with the best action sequences. The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, also known as the book with the best everything, but the action sequences in here played out like a movie in my head, all of the different like magic and how it works, and just, it plays like a movie scene, and it's just amazing and wonderful, and I could picture everything perfectly, and sometimes with action scenes, I have a hard time because like so much stuff is happening, but this was so like descriptive in the action scenes, which is crazy because a lot of times that action stuff is just kind of skimmed over. There's so much description and just, I could picture everything in the world and just everything, and yes, I'm gonna review this book, guys, I just keep putting it off because I have so many emotions still, and it's been like a month since I've read it, and I just like spew emotions everywhere. So when I can collect my thoughts as like a normal human being, I'll review this. Breakup, a book or series you didn't finish and do not intend to finish. I've talked about The Maze Runner by James Dashner a million times on my channel, how I'm not going to finish that book ever. I'm not going to finish a series, but I've just run that one into the ground. But most recently, The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I did not enjoy this book, and I've heard that the rest of the series doesn't really get much better if I didn't enjoy this book, so I do not plan on continuing with the series. But I'm really excited for her next series, the first book being called Passenger. I really want that. That comes out, I think, early next year. I want that a lot, but this, I'm not even gonna push through it because I think about reading the next books and I actually get like in a reading slump feel, like just from thinking about it, so I'm not even gonna bother. Hanging with Friends, a book that you think everyone else should read. This really goes without saying, but The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, which I think everyone should read, and I've done a review, so check it out and go read it. Roadtrip, your favorite series, so more than 3 books. So obviously the Fallen Kingdom series is my favorite, like, currently running series, but I have to say that my favorite series of all time is the Anita Blake series by Laurel K. Hamilton. I'm not going to get one of them right now because they're piled up here because they're mass market paperbacks and they're all, like, stuck in there, like, just, I can't even. But I love the series. It is an adult series. It's adult urban fantasy, so there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of paranormal creatures and everything, but it is about Anita Blake, who's a vampire hunter, federal marshal, animator, which means she animates zombies, like that's her job. She animates zombies so that she can talk to them for like legal matters or whatever. People hire her to like animate corpses temporarily to like talk to them for whatever purpose, and then yeah. It sounds weird, but it's not. So there's like zombies, werewolves, vampires, ghosts, every kind of shifter of any. It's crazy. But that's probably my favorite series of all time because I've read like 17 books from that series and I'm very invested in them, but I've taken a break from it until the author finally decides to wrap the series up because she has no plans to wrap it up right now and I don't have time for all those books right now. So it's my favorite series in my heart, but I'm just not currently reading it right now. Breakdown, a book that seriously affected you / had you crying your eyes out. This is a fairly recent read, and I actually did a review on this very recently, which I will link somewhere on the screen, but We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Not going to mention like why I was crying my eyes out, but the audiobook for this book is amazing, and the character's voice, like the way that her voice inflection, and when she's feeling emotional, like you can really hear it in her voice, like the voice acting is so well done. So that's mostly why I was so upset. Because you felt like you were talking to somebody and they were having like an emotional breakdown, and I was just bawling. I think I was bawling for like a good half an hour. Like, yeah, it's a really well done audiobook and I highly recommend it. Flashback, your favorite book from 5 years ago. I don't know. I would say the Anita Blake books and the Mary Gentry books, which I've already talked about, but I don't remember like a favorite book from 5 years ago. I already mentioned this, and that the Mary Gentry and the Anita Blake series by Laura K. Hamilton, those were my favorite books for like years. Like I just reread those constantly, the way that people read Harry Potter over and over. Like I read those books over and over. So those are pretty much my favorite books from 5 years ago. Getting back together, what book can you not stop rereading? I've already mentioned The Night Circus, which I will continue to reread every year, probably until the day that I die, but also Graceling by Kristen Cashore. I love this series, but I've reread Graceling I think about 3 times. It's just amazing, and I really enjoy it, and it's a really great fantasy series that does not get enough hype, so definitely check it out. If you like Throne of Glass or Falling Kingdoms or the Grisha Trilogy, any of those books, you'd probably enjoy this. This is the original fantasy series, YA fantasy series that I got into, and I still absolutely adore it. And the main character in here is still one of my favorites, so I will continue to reread this book because I just really adore it. Wedding, a book that is really special to you. I don't really have an answer for this because really a book that's really special to me is a book that I've read recently or whatever. I don't really have any books that are like special editions or crazy or anything, but right now it is the arc that I have of Six of Crows that is signed by Leigh Bardugo. Because I sat for a long time for this at BEA, and it's personalized to me and I'm never letting it go, and it's just, I'm very excited. Moment of Triumph, the longest book you've ever had to read. This is actually Sarum by, I'm not sure whose name, but I will put a picture here. For Honors English senior year, the summer before it, we had to read Sarum because it was an English lit course. So Sarum is an historical fiction novel that takes place over like, I think it's supposed to be 1,000 years in Britain, and you follow like, well, it's over 1,000 years, obviously, but you follow like cavemen all the way up to like modern day through everything that's happened in Britain, like different time periods and stuff, because it's supposed to be kind of the backdrop so that we were going to understand all the English lit that we were reading, and like, oh, so this took place during this time in Sarum, blah, blah, blah. It's a hefty book. And yeah, it was hard for summer reading as a senior in high school to like read that during the summer because it's not really summer reading. Historical fiction for me is not summer reading at all, but that was probably the longest book that I read, I think. I think it's like over 1,000 pages. Death Scene, a book or series you wish had ended differently. Of Neptune by Anna Banks, I've done a whole series review on the series, which I will link somewhere around here, but this book just did not stand up to the rest of them. This is a fun mermaid series, but this book felt very unnecessary and pointless, and it was sad because the first book was a ton of fun and this just like meh. Funeral, books with the best or worst epilogue. Ignite Me by Tara Mafi because it doesn't have an epilogue. End credits, who do you tag? I did not prepare for this because I never prepare for tags and who I'm going to tag, so I'm going to tag you if you are zodiac sign Leo or Aquarius, because I'm a Leo and my best friend is an Aquarius. Isn't that cute? That's so cute. So if you are either of those zodiac signs, if you like doing this tag, then do this tag. So comment down below and let me know a book that is really special to you. Since I didn't have a great answer for that because like I said, I don't have any like limited editions or anything like that, comment down below and let me know what the answer is for you. So thank you all for watching and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!